So I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. And I want to just briefly tell you about the program. When people hear after school, they think, okay, it's just a place for you to nest my kids for a couple of hours until I get off from work and go pick them up. No, I'm too old to babysit and too old to run around and play. So we are a structured program and structured curriculum. So the kids still have fun, but we offer programs. We are a STEAM-based program, so science, technology, engineering, art, and math. But people have finally gotten smarter and realized that STEAM is just about everything. Just about everything you do is STEAM. I mean, you could tie in science and technology with a whole lot of things. So we do have a lot of fun. But our program, we do digital art, we do computer technology, coding and robotics, we do music technology. We have a partnership with the Strass Center to do all types of programming. Our girls have done everything from stand-up comedy to improvisation to spoken word, and all that is confidence building when you can get up in front of somebody and talk. They do digital art. We have a heavy concentration of visual art. And not just, I do not believe in crayons, cotton balls, and popsicle sticks. No. So our girls actually learn fabulous art, painting, watercolors, 3D art, two-dimensional art, but they also learn about the artist. So you walk in any day, they can tell you about Frida Kahlo, they can tell you about Andy Warhol, they can tell you about Matisse, Rembrandt, all of it, they love it. We also, and I know Gina likes this one, we received funding from Tegna, which is the parent company of Channel 10, to do an entrepreneurial program called Biz Girls. So our little ones, which are our shining stars, that's our 5 to 9-year-olds, and our 11 to 14-year-olds are our young risers. They have registered businesses on Sunbiz. The little ones created an art gallery, and it's called Shining Art, Art of the Stars. Our older girls created a skincare line called Girl Glow. And so they've made their own soaps and body scrubs and lip balms, and it's just incredible. So they're learning all about how to be a boss babe, or babe crafted, I'm sorry. So it's really, really cool. I used to have a cheat sheet because I can't even think of half the stuff we do. They learn foreign languages, and it's just amazing what we do. We have a very diverse group of girls. I have Black, white, Asian, Indonesian, Ethiopian. Our kids come from various social economic backgrounds. I have kids whose parents are VPs at major corporations. I have kids whose parents are doctors. I have kids whose parents clean hotels. I have, for the first time this year, we have 2 homeless families. So that's a population that we had not served, and it's called the invisible homeless. And that term means that you don't see them on the street. They're sleeping in their cars. They're sleeping in their friends' garages. They're sleeping wherever. So this is the first time we've had kids who are homeless, but they don't care. The kids don't care who they're playing with. The kids don't care who they're learning with. So it's an incredible environment. I have children who have autism. I have kids who have Down syndrome. So we serve everybody. The only qualification to be at the Center for Girls is to be a girl and to be between the ages of 5 and 14. Am I missing something? I never ever, I told you, I never ever ask for anything when I'm out. I never make an appeal because that's not what I do. I would, first of all, like to invite you all to come by. I have brochures here. We would love, I've got some amazing volunteers to come by the center who've worked with our program, so feel free. Whatever your skill, whatever your talent, whatever your gift, please bring it. We appreciate time and treasures, and talent, so anytime you'd like to come by. I have my cards and our brochures, but I was telling Gina said, how's everything going? And I was like, I said, no, let me speak positivity into the universe. But today and yesterday was not one of those days. Last night we got an email late in the evening from the program that provides the food for our summer program. And the food for just about 22 different nonprofits who do summer programming, because we have an 8-week summer program. Well, the federal government cut the funds for summer food programs. So that means hundreds and hundreds of kids will not have lunch, breakfast, or snacks at a summer camp where they're going to be all day. So we were frantic. We were texting each other all last night, like, oh my God, did you see the email? What are we supposed to do? And we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. But was doing some numbers, and again, I don't do ask, but I spoke with the people from the people who cut the funding, and I asked them, I said, what is the breakdown of what it costs to feed a child a day? So they gave me the information, $2.03 for breakfast, which doesn't sound like a lot, $3.55 for lunch, which again doesn't sound like a lot, and 83 cents for a snack, and that's twice a day, 2 snacks a day. Well, for 50 kids, and 5 days a week, for 8 weeks, comes to $12,820. And it's like, okay, we didn't allocate that in our budget because we never had to do it in the last 4 years. Well, what do? So I'm just saying to you ladies, whatever you want to do, can do, feel like you should or need to do, support Kendra Scott, that's supporting us. But we are, we're just in that place right now. So snacks, Sam's Club, coupons, I don't care. You don't have to give me a discount, you don't have to give me your credit card. But just right now, we are trying to decide if we can't feed you, can we even house you? If we can't feed you, can we even educate you or empower you? So that was a real blow. And I've been a nonprofit almost 30 years. So I've seen a lot of blows or experienced a lot of blows, but when it's the child that you're taking from, you're not taking from me, you're not taking from Gina, you're taking from future babes crafting, you're taking from future photographers, you're taking from future business owners, future entrepreneurs. That's what they're taking from, and that's what they took from. So I just want to say thank you again. My cards are here, my brochures are here, and I do not mean to end on a sad note or a woe is me note, but just an honest note, a real note, because I see it every day. I work with it every day. And but we see so many incredible kids that come in there. And I'm gonna tell you one good story before I leave. A lady came in the other day with her 2 little girls, and she said that she drives by the place all the time. And we are that type of place. People just drive by because it's like, okay, what is that? And because the Lowry Park Zoo sign is in our yard. So people I think that we're part of the zoo right there on the corner, but they put their sign in the yard. So she said she came in with her 2 daughters, and it sounds like a sad story, but it's not, ladies. And her little girls are 7 and 9, and they have been both bullied in school. And she said, I really want them in a place where they can feel good. And she said, I walked into this building, and everybody who's been in that building knows that the atmosphere is just so cool. And her little girls were like they had walked into Disney World. And I'm not bragging on the program, I'm just telling the truth. And she said, I just feel something about this place. And she said, my little girl one of them had been bullied so bad at 7 that she said she was talking about ending her life. And this world has gotten so crazy where we are dealing with issues as serious as a child being bullied to the point of not wanting to be here. And she said when they got ready to leave, these little girls were smiling from ear to ear. The mom said to me, and she put her hands on me, she said, thank you. And I said, no need to thank me. She said, I haven't seen my child smile like this in months. And they hadn't even started the program. So that's what we're all about. We're making kids smile. We're making kids feel good about ourselves. Because I know as an adult, a grown old lady, there are days when I look in the mirror and don't like me. But I can deal with that. I can handle that. I can put on some makeup, some highlighters, some something to try to make it work. And I just hold my head up and say, to the rest of them, get over it, I'm good. But a child can't do that. They don't have the tools to do that. They don't have the tools to cope and to accept what the world throws at them. So I'm looking at all of you fabulous ladies. I'm looking at just different fabulousness. Everybody's just bringing something different to the table. So again, thank you, Gina. I didn't mean to prolong with this, but thank you, Kendra Scott, and thank you all so much for being here tonight.
Thank you so much, Sartora, and for giving us, an idea for those of us that have not yet been to the Center for Girls or aren't yet familiar with the organization, what they do and the joy and opportunity they bring to girls in our community. Thank you so much. All right. so something that we do in our community events is that we do a quick round around the room. That's why that was hard. There's something going on here. I want you to tell us your name and what you do, because you coming here tonight, I want you to feel heard. You matter, and we want to know who you are. So we're going to start with our panelists, and then we're going to come back to y'all. Well, we're not going to pass the microphone around because you can see, but you can use your
I'm pretty loud, so if you all know me. My name is Christina Maldonado. Hi, I'm owner of Boudoir Tampa, and I specialize in empowering women and individuals.
I'm Kristen Hansen. I own Flawless Fetes and Fetes. It's a mobile bar, if you're wondering. We mainly do wedding planning and events and the mobile bars. Just a cute little pop-up camper that gets you a little bit buzzed.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessy Furniel. I'm the online coordinator of Adelie, and it's an up and organic skincare brand all about empowering women to challenge ageism by confidently embracing your evolving skin.
I'm Brooke. I'm owner of B Studios. I'm an interior designer, kitchen and bath designer, and I'm a recent mom. My son is 9 months old.
And I'm Satora Smith, director of the Center for Girls.
Hi, I'm Carolyn. I'm a photographer, and I'm Carolyn. I'm a photographer. I specialize in weddings, but I do all sorts of things.
I'm Stacey Mandigas with Unique Weddings and Events. I'm an event planner and designer.
I'm Stephanie. I do a side hustle of calligraphy and stationery of greeting cards, paper crafts.
I'm Barbara Shipton. I own a very small company called Shipton Candle Company, 100% soy candles. I have some samples with me. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. If anyone's interested, please come up to me. I also have a small Etsy store with business cards with me. So it will be nice to all support business-to-business locals.
Hi, I'm Sky. I'm a fashion and beauty photographer, and then I'm also Christina's assistant.
I'm Katie Ray. I'm a consultant and coach in sales and marketing for startups and established companies.
Hi, I'm Julia Chu. I do fashion design and wedding photography. Hi, I'm Megan. I work at PwC.
Hi, I'm Danielle Ferrari, and I own Mahalik, a clothing membership, or you can buy used clothes.
Hi, I'm Heather Saunders. I'm a financial advisor. I'm an independent branch of Ameriprise Financial, right over on Howard. And this is a Rich Dress from
Product
Stand next to me.
Hi, my name is Ellie Baggett. I run a women's group. It's called Ladies Heights Happy Hour. It's a group for women that can make friends because it's really fucking hard out there. And we will come together and make friends, and there's no rules, but have a drink or not, and just empower each other. It's not a group where we judge each other. We accept everyone, every type. We just want to make friends and make the world better.
What's the name of it again?
Ladies Heights Happy Hour.
Do it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ren, and I own Wolf and Rabbit Marketing, and we empower beauty and fashion brands to look as beautiful and fashion forward online as they do in real life.
Hi everyone, I am Jessica Dickhouse with Forever Treasure Photography. I specialize in weddings and elopement photography and do the life cycle. So after the wedding day, they don't have to end with me. But additionally, I love giving my couples and families images to treasure beyond their lifetime.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm an apparel designer.
Hi, I'm Milani. I own The One with Owl. I used to call myself a graphic designer, but I'm pivoting my business and I'm going to be a cute creator / visual storyteller.
Pivot, baby, pivot.
I'm Gina. I'm a business coach. I help women grow their business with more intention and less overwhelm.
Hi guys, I'm Amanda Evans. I own Tight Ship Bookkeeping. I do small business virtual bookkeeping.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Alessandro. I own Doyle Paper Co. We're a custom stationery company specializing in wedding invitations and corporate event branding.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica Santanier.
We love serving our Tampa Bay community. Oh, okay. I didn't know I was going. I'm Erica. I'm the store manager here at Kendra Scott. Thank you guys for coming and supporting Babe Crafted and also the Center for Women. We're happy to have you. Who was well back here?
Oh, hi, I'm Lexi. I work at Kendra Scott. Just a sales associate, but do we get any help?
We just graduated from college.
That's right. If you guys need help after all this, we can assist you in your shopping needs.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing a bit about yourself. So now we all know each other. It's a much cozier atmosphere. So someone can do me a favor real quick and let me know if you can see all of us in this phone screen. We are Facebook Living tonight, yeah?
Yeah,
Are you good?
you'll be good.
Okay, how about you, Brooke?
No. There you go. Now you're
Yeah, just like lean in like this when you're responding.
Yeah, you want to stay in front of that mirror and
Awesome. Yeah, I know there are ghost chairs here, but we didn't want it to feel too formal. You're standing, so we're gonna stand too. Okay, so the first question we have, and I wanted to keep the question short because I wanted to make sure we had time for Q&A. So let's talk about expectations versus reality. What did you think motherhood would be like versus what is it actually like?
I think I said this to a few friends, and they actually said that I was probably the only friend that was really honest about motherhood with them, but it's definitely not the pretty pictures that everyone markets to you, and I think we are in a time of like the Pinterest era where everyone's just trying to appear perfect all the time, and we're doing a disservice to each other as women and mothers, not being honest in our struggles. So for me, I struggled a lot. I have a chronic illness. My daughter ended up having a chronic illness as well from birth, and it definitely was not what I expected. So for me, it was a huge struggle, and I didn't have a lot of support. Nobody really knew what to say to me. What do you say to a new mom who was struggling like that? So I had to really adjust my expectations on myself, and also being a business owner about what I could do. So it was definitely a struggle, but you somehow make it work.
So, kind of the same where I thought I wanted 4 kids. I had one like, we're good, this is good.
Me too.
But I cannot deny myself. I'm that Pinterest person. It's part of the game.
I know too.
So I'm gonna put the bunny ears on my kid and take that picture and put it online, but you're probably also gonna see the story of him like weeping because I threatened to take something away if he didn't wear the ears. So try to put it out there, but also keep it real. Motherhood has been so different than I thought. I never thought I'd have a boy. I know that's like a 50-50 shot, but of course not. I'll have like 4 girls and it'll be adorable. Oh, this kid. It's kind of been having girls, don't worry. But these girls are cuter. So it's just been totally, I grew up with sisters, so just having this tiny boy in my house, I'm like, what do I do with you? So it's just been from the get, like, what is even happening here? But, I mean, it's also been much more rewarding in a different way than I thought it would be. It's just all about, like, nothing is what you thought was going to happen, which is crazy and very uncomfortable for someone like me who plans everything.
It's not perfect. It's not perfect. Before kids and still with kids, I must leave 10 hours. So having a kid, you have to be available because they don't understand. If you're tired, if you're hungry, if food needs to be done, they need care. So it's been like the most humbling experience for me to actually empathize with this being that I cannot express how much I love them. And yet it makes me so exhausting. But I love it. So it's you have no idea what's really going to be because it's so unique and nobody prepares you. There's no way to prepare. There's no handbook how you can do it. You just do it the best you can. So I guess it's been like the most humbling experience to just motherhood. It's just everything is all new. And it doesn't matter if what worked for mom or for grandma. you find your own rhythm, and that's what really counts.
How old are all your children? My daughter's going to be 7 this year.
5, 6, and 8.
I'm the youngest.
That's why
You're in the trenches right now. So mine turns 1 in August, so I still have a little guy. He's not quite walking yet. Same thing. Didn't think I was going to have a boy. Right before we cut the gender cake, I was like, it's going to be a boy. I just knew, like, in my gut. So that's what I was going to say, like, expectation versus reality. A lot of expectations are exactly what I thought. Like, very much kind of in my head is reality. But 2 things that surprised me were mom gut, you always hear that term, or mother intuition, and mom brain. So before pregnancy, I relied very heavy on my memory for note-taking, for my business, details. I mean, I could tell you the name of a tile I installed 10 years ago in a project. After I got pregnant, forget it, like, gone.
I'm still.
I know, but it doesn't have that.
It's still 8 years later.
That, like, was, like, one of my just scary, like, mental things. It's like, how can my brain change so much? And then mom gut or mom intuition. We had a scare with our son when he was 29 days old. We ended up, I knew something was wrong, checked his temperature, elevated temperature, called the pediatrician. They said go straight to the ER. We were there for 9 days. You know, it just, something inside, like, just like that, something's not right. And that was a big surprise for me. I'm very, like, literal, type A, and like to trust your gut intuition was a big surprise for me, so.
Thank you for sharing. I can't help but say thank you for sharing after every single question, because I'm just like, thank you. You're opening your heart up a little bit. So, you know, to speak to what you've each shared, what keeps you sane, and who helps you on the days that you just can't do it all by yourself?
I have an awesome husband and an awesome group of friends who took me a really long time to get them, but it was so worth it. They will help any time I need anything, whether it's watching my kids. Stacey has done that for me many times, or Sky has helped me many times as well. I smile because I'm just so thankful for that, because everyone says find your tribe, like it's necessary when you're a mom. You need a tribe. And they also know, like, my freakouts. I'm a emotional, like, I'm super strong, but I'm a crier. Like, I cry for everything, all the time. So when I'm having a hard day, I have my go-to people who I'm, like, mom venting to. And other than that, what keeps me sane is vacations, cruises, specifically. So my mentor told me, she's like, if you're a business owner, sometimes it's hard to keep yourself motivated. So she's like, if you want to stay motivated, make it that you do a quarterly vacation. And if you meet your quarterly goal, then you're gonna go. So that keeps me motivated.
Alcohol and a low dose of Percocet. Also my husband. He's really great, and I've made sure that both the girls on my team I've known since high school, so they're like, Lindsay and Allison are like sisters to me, and they're right around the corner, so they're a huge help, especially Allison, who has kids of her own. So we kind of go back and forth, and if I even need to take a break business-wise, then she knows all my stuff, and she can jump in that way. So it's not just a Xander. It's been so amazing the past 2 years having her on the team with me, because she kind of gets all of it with me, and that's really been invaluable.
One of the perks of the military is that they really push you. I'm a military wife. So you really have a lot of extra you don't know. So most of my motherhood has been just my husband and I depending on each other to raise our daughters. So I can't talk about it because I start choking every time. But I remember one particular time that my husband had a motorcycle accident. I had a newborn, 18-year-old, and I was by myself in Germany. And thank goodness for other military wives for pitching it and bringing us food, and just being that support system has been like so crucial. Now that they're older, my husband is still my rock, so we pretty much piggyback on each other, and he keeps me sane by giving me space. So I need alone time. You know, send her to a spa, take the kids to grandma, or take her to the zoo, and mama recharge, or book me a travel. That always picks me up.
I would say my thing to keep me sane is my sister over there. She's my guest tonight. She has a 5 and 4-year-old, so she is my hero. Anyone that has a baby older than 9 months, you are my expert in my book. So of course, getting lots of advice from her. My husband has been instrumental in our day-to-day. He takes our son to daycare every morning. They leave the house at 6:15. He teaches in Bradenton. He picks them up from daycare, so I can kind of maintain running a business. And I truly do not know what I would do without him. Like, he is my rock for sure. And then I have a great group of Instagram friends that some of us have never met. We've connected through different like-minded channels, and we have a daily chat, and it is our judgment-free zone, and we go on there and do stories and vent, and if we're having a crappy day, like whether it's about being a parent or a business owner or whatever, that helps me a lot, like knowing that I have that like outlet to like speak your mind but not feel like you're being judged for it. So.
Little microphone train. Wonderful. So, which ties perfectly into our next question, because Jessy, you brought up that you're a military mom. Christina, you brought up that you deal with this chronic illness. Even though there are a lot of similarities to your stories, there are a lot of differences too. So what does a typical day look like for you as a business owner, as a mom?
I'm at a point in my business where I have full control over my hours and what things look like. So I'm not a typical 9 to 5. Today looked like I laid in bed with my husband till 11, and we had our personal time when our daughter's in school, and then I got up and worked and then came here. But there are some days where I'm going to bed at 3:30, getting up at 5:30, and I'm working, and I shoot all day, and then I'm doing the whole mom routine. So for me, I don't know, it's just all over the place really. I'm getting better about having a little bit more of a routine. We have our days off and our taco Mondays, not Tuesdays because my husband's off on Mondays. But we have our little things that we do together, so.
I would have to say the same. That's been another thing about being a mom and a business owner is I would love if every week I had Monday we do this and Tuesday we do that, but that's not our reality at all. Most days my husband takes our son and picks him up from school and we come home and have dinner, but I also have to be social and do things like this or ladies' nights happy hour. Weekends I have weddings, so if I don't, then I'll make more time that week and kind of spend time with my family, but it's all over the place. So it's great that Xander's in school. He'll be going to kindergarten, which is insane. And then this summer, he's off all summer, where I've usually had him in a camp or something, so we'll be spending a lot of time together. It's never been like, here are the days where you do this, this, and this, and that's totally weird for me, because that was definitely how I liked to have my life before, and it just isn't reality when you're trying to maintain a business and a family and a social life and all of it. It could not happen for me, and it took some adjusting to be like, no, you don't have to have Wednesday be this thing. Sorry, Lindsay, who used to come to my house every single night on Wednesday. Yeah, so just kind of making that adjustment and making it more fluid has really been what's worked for our family.
One day at a time, every day. It's just pretty much like the whole motto from every mom. It's one day at a time. So it really depends. So right now at home we are sharing vehicles, so it makes it even more interesting. And our daughters have also private classes or extracurricular activities, so it's yes. So one day at a time. There's not one day that is identical as the previous one. And although there is some planning, what helps us is every single appointment, may that be from my husband on his work side, me on the business side, we share a calendar. So if it's not booked, you didn't tell me, or vice versa. So that's been like our common ground to just keep sanity. This is how we track, because if we're dependent, you told me, or I told you, or we reschedule, things change, that's what's holding us accountable. And I like working on weekends. I don't know why. It's like my daughter, they love doing school on the weekends. It's just, so we just find our own rhythm and that works for us.
I would say that in the morning when they leave at 6:15, I get a little extra sleep and the house is really quiet and it's awesome. But I have a pretty typical day. It's nice to be able to leave early if I have an event. Tuesday, I text my husband and said I'll be home. We're leaving at 5 to go bike riding. I was an hour late. He's texting me, "Where are you?" That's pretty typical. Yeah, like that. Like I said, he's just picking up the son after school, so that's really helpful. I guess that's pretty normal. Oh, one thing I did when I got pregnant, I took my notifications off of email on my phone, so I don't get notifications. And then I buried my mail app for my business on the last page, so I can't see it. And because I used to check email at like 9 o'clock at night before I was going to bed, and I get a bad email, and then I couldn't sleep at night. So I forced myself to like go into my email and check it when I wanted to, so I had the control. And I've maintained that it's been a couple years, and that to me was life-changing for home-life balance. So I feel like I have the control and can choose if and when I want to bring work into the home in the evening. I'm usually on Instagram, but like in terms of like email, that's like to me
Right.
so.
I do the same. I stop emails. Like at 5 o'clock, I don't answer emails.
Yeah.
On Friday. Monday to Friday. That's my virtual office hour.
That's awesome. I really have enjoyed that the theme in your responses and your journeys is something that you said, Jessy, is like finding your own rhythm and embracing that rhythm and just being okay with, well, this is how I do things, and I feel good about that. And that's super exciting for all of you. So I'm going to ask you one more question before we open things up to a couple of questions from our awesome group of ladies here. So the final question I have for you is, what do you hope your kids take away from seeing you be a mom and a business owner? I see your eyes are getting watery, Jessy.
I'm gonna try to practice. It's really important for me that my daughter can understand that she can literally do anything that she wants, and that there's no limitation to that, and that anybody can do that. But for me, for my daughter, I just want her to think about whatever it is that she wants and have like no boundaries in her mind. Because my parents are really supportive of me, but I still didn't have the support that I think that I can provide my daughter being an entrepreneur and going through all the things that I've gone through. And so I'm actually kind of really excited to see what she decides to do and support her in whatever that is. She says she wants to be a photographer. I wonder why. But if she wants to, great, we'll make it happen. But I'm excited, and I see her being a business owner in some aspect because she already has her own stuff going on, and she's super excited about it. So. Pass it down here.
I come from a long line of entrepreneurs. My dad is the oldest of 11, and I think like 7 or 8 of them own their own businesses, so it's always kind of been out there like, if you want something, go make it happen, and that's really what I hope Xander gets from me owning these businesses and kind of just making things happen for myself when I want to see something. Right now he wants to deliver pizzas, so we'll see how that goes. But I kind of came from such a less structured environment as far as my parents were not like 9 to 5 people. That was never the thing. So I kind of went the opposite, kind of like go to college, do the 9 to 5, like was in my mind because they were not doing it. I don't know. And now I'm just like, do whatever works for you. The idea of being in the morning commute makes me want to scream, so I'm just never going to do it. But I hope that he kind of gets that same freedom where you don't have to fit into a certain box, just make what you want to see happen for yourself.
Alright, so brave yourself, because I'm like, I always get you when I say this. So, I'm going to for the slide right now. But, so when I created Adelie is a merge of my 2 daughters' name. So they are water birth babies. And I feel like I cannot say one thing without giving you the background behind it. And having them was like the most empowering experience as a woman. And that proved me that I was capable of doing something on my own, that my body, that I made this and I'm capable of it. And I never thought that I was capable of it. And so when I created my brand, our third baby, I pretty much created the name of the brand as my homage to my daughters, for them to know that I am grateful for them being here to teach me that I am capable, and this is my way of showing them they are capable of doing whatever it is that they wish to do for their life. Because also as a Latina myself, we grew up in a very culturally stereotyped expectation that if you're a woman, you were expected to only have, yes, go have a degree, but be at home. Yes, be a wife, but be pretty. Yes, you can have a career, but your husband is a breadwinner, and you're always like another person. And having two daughters, I want them to see that that's not what they have to do. Like, if mommy can do it, not to perfection, but if you can do what makes you happy, they can also achieve them. So it's basically, I am their example that it's possible. And I didn't cry.
Well, I certainly would hope that my son does whatever his heart desires. I mean, I own a business, but my husband is a public servant, and he teaches high school science and adolescent. Some days I feel like his job is harder than mine. So I would certainly hope that he does whatever he wants. One thing we've started telling him every morning, obviously he's 9 months old and he doesn't understand any of this yet, but when he leaves for daycare is like, make us proud, be kind, like work hard, like instead of focusing on, be smart, it's like be kind, be a good person. And we were talking earlier, Ren over there and I were talking about just our changing global environment and conversations that we're having in our lifetime that our parents never fathomed, and what will those conversations be like in my son's lifetime. And I certainly hope he's going to leave our world a better place. So.
Thank you, ladies. A million cheers to all of you.
Thank you.
So wonderful to get a peek into, honest, open peek into what it's really like, what it's not like, some real talk, spill some tea a little bit, and then just, have fun and share some stories. So we want to open it up and give you the chance to ask a couple questions. Anyone have a question they want to ask?
I have a question. I would just like to say I'm very happy somebody's sleeping in when I am.
Love it. Comments are also welcome. All right. Well, thank you so much for being amazing listeners. Don't be shy about asking these ladies questions if you're not like a super public person after this. And also don't be shy about going over to Sartora. She's super friendly. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. It's been amazing getting to spend time with all of you. Yeah, 10% off for your purchase tonight, and then 10% benefits the Center for Girls. That's something I didn't get a chance to say at the table over there, but now you all know. Enjoy your Mother's Day weekend, and thanks for spending with us. Cheers, ladies.